Guys, welcome to the second episode of DeClassified, where we're going to be, uncovering the secrets for business, entrepreneurship, marketing, and all those things around life. We are currently in South Beach, Florida. So guys, I just want to start off by saying, if you're a business owner or you own an agency or whatever, a business owner, get yourselves an American Express Platinum. It's a little bit expensive, $600 annual fee, but it is worth every single penny. We're staying in the Lowe's in South Beach, and just how they greeted me, just with everything, because I have the platinum, it's insane. They greeted me like I was a president.
They were calling you Mr. Corzo.
They're like, how are you, Mr. Corzo? On the behalf of us and American Express, we welcome you. They gave us an upgrade to the suite. They gave us just credit for breakfast, credit for dinner. Like, it's just.
Now you need a plat, right? You said that.
You need a platinum. So the gold.
What's the yearly?
$595.
$595.
So it is a little bit, but listen, if you travel, you get access to the Centurion lounges, all of those things. Like, it's 100% worth it. Like, just.
I mean, look, we got $100 breakfast credit.
$100, yes.
$100 beverage credit.
Yep.
We got, what else did we get?
An upgrade.
Oh, we upgraded a suite.
And it's just, listen, like, if you're gonna come here on a date with a girl that you're really trying to impress, and they greeted you the way that they greeted me, it's game over.
Yeah.
It's access, instant.
Tap out.
You don't have to do anything. How are you, Mr. Corzo? Like, they're gonna be impressed. You know what I'm saying? So guys, get yourself a platinum. But yeah, we're in South Beach right now. We're actually at an event hosted by Bridger Pennington. I believe that's his name, but it's for Fund Launch. And that's been super interesting, bro. What do you think about it so far?
Fund Launch. Very new to us. We never.
Explain what it is, yeah.
We've never been to an event like this, and it's basically about starting a fund or continuing growing your fund. And what a fund really is so hard to explain still, even after we went to the first day, because there is so many things that you can actually do with a fund. And you could start one if you have a business right now. You could start one as your business, and the opportunities out of funds, the cash flow that you can actually receive from either buying businesses, expanding franchises for stores like mom and pop pizza shops and stuff like that. The opportunities are endless. You can go into real estate funds. And it opened our mind to a lot of things and a lot of new aspects we can use in our business, and seeing how we can use a fund to just grow our business and expand our ticket price and stuff like that, and start charging more to clients because we have access to things that will help us grow, like a fund, which is just a pit of money that you can use to invest in your business to make it run better, run stronger, upgrade things. We were even talking about it with Josh Villarreal, if you know him, starting SaaS companies too, which is a new hype. I don't know.
Which is what everyone's doing, and the reason, if you don't know what SaaS is software as a service, and the reason everyone is doing it is because the multipliers are literally like 10, 20x. So if you don't really know what that is, it's meaning like, I don't even really know how to explain it, but pretty much, let's just say, essentially it's like 10 to 20xing, essentially like your revenue, and that's what's giving you what your business is worth or what the company is worth.
It's equity multiplier or
it's
something
an
like
equity
that?
multiplier, yeah.
And then, but the thing with SaaS is like, it's a software that you integrate with your business. So let's say.
It's a method you can do.
Right. So let's say, for example, we're an agency and we grow social media content. I mean, we grow coaches' pages with social media to drive more leads to their coaching programs. If we were able to somehow come up with a e-learning SaaS software for these coaches to use, so when they get onboarded to our service, they're locked in with our software, because this is how they're going to run their whole coaching program on our e-learning program, on our e-learning software. Then they're tied to us. And then this is also what's adding the multiplier to our business and actually giving us that 20x, because normally agencies are really only selling for like a 3 to 5x max when you're going to buy an agency or sell an agency. But when you add when you implement a SaaS, this is where you're seeing the possibilities of 10, 20x your business. And it's just a crazy thing that people are doing right now.
Yes.
Oh, we got.
I'm sorry, sir. Are you checking out today?
Yes, at 4 o'clock. We have late checkout.
Okay, I'll
Yes.
be back.
Thank you. Guys,
That's
sorry
another
about that.
thing. Late checkout.
Late
We just got-
checkout, yeah, that's a platinum. So our checkout is at 4 p.m. at this hotel, which is unheard of. I've never been able to check out at 4 p.m. at a hotel, which is lit. So sorry for the interruption, but to go back, so the reason you want to fund is, let's just say you, for example, with our agency, we have the systems in place. We know how to scale an agency to 50, 100K. And now we have a SaaS integrated, so we have our clients on the SaaS. So what you would do is you'd raise money to a fund, and you'd go out and buy out other agencies who are, kind of struggling. They're like at 10, 20K. You implement your systems, you onboard people, like you bring your team, you scale it up to 50, 100K with the money you've raised, and then essentially you would sell those agencies, or you just keep them and just pretty much bring them into your software. So
and just keep them as cash flow. Yep. And a lot of people are doing, so there's a way where you can do that with one, right? So you can buy a company that's doing $20,000, $30,000 in revenue, an agency, a month, and then grow it to 50, 60K. Or what you can do is you can buy 8 of those agencies that are doing 20, 30K a month, obviously depending on how much money you can get raised for the fund. Because that's the thing, funds are all about raising capital. So if you can get enough, if you have enough connections, if you're going to places like Fund Launch and networking with these people that have access to this money and access to all this in these investors that are interested in businesses and stuff like that, you'll be able to pool these agencies together. So you can buy 8 of them, implement your systems to all 8 of them. Pretty much, it's like going into a house and fix and flipping. You're painting the walls, you're changing the kitchen, you're putting maybe new LVP flooring in, and then you're getting out, you sell it for a profit. That's what these people are doing with these agencies, where they're taking them from that 20 to 30K to that 50 to 60K, and then they're able to sell it for this crazy multiplier because they're in a pool. So you're selling all 8 to another fund or another investor that just wants the businesses.
yeah. So the reason we went to this is we don't know anything about funds, but it just exposes your mind to other things. Like, there's so many things that people do that you don't know about that they make millions from. It's like, we've met some crazy dude who's just talking our ear off about what he does. He's from Silicon Valley. He does something with economics around the world, and he has like a big fund. And it's just, I was like overwhelmed by what he was telling me. Right?
Whiskey.
Like, it was whiskey.
What else was he talking
Oh yeah, he was talking about how, I don't know if you guys know, but whiskey is the number
2.
Number 2. It's the second best investment year over year.
Return
Whiskey,
wise.
yeah, return wise. And I think third was art or something. But just learning things like that from other people just exposes your mind to other things. Like, for us, running this agency isn't going to take us to the promised land. It's going to take us from A to B. It's going to make us some good money, but like, to get to the next level, you need to go to things like these, meet new people, network, and just get your mind exposed to new things. So
yeah, it's the cash cow. This is what the agency is.
this is just to get us monthly cash flow. Put money in our pocket so we can start playing the game a little bit. And we were talking with one of our clients, the Mathis twins, and they were saying it's like you need to focus on one thing. So like if you're really trying to make it to the next level, focus on one thing, be really good at it, and don't get shiny object syndrome. Just focus on one thing. And once you have like 200K in the bank, 250K in the bank, then you can start investing and playing around with that. But like in my case, like I was putting like, 5, 10K in crypto, and let's just say it did go up 5x. Now I have 50K. It's like that isn't going to do me anything, to be honest. Like, that isn't going to move the needle. Instead, invest that money into yourself, into things like this where you're going to meet people, into your education, into coaches, into mentors, because you're investing into yourself is just an infinite return. Right. So
yeah, that 5x is temporary. You got to sell out.
You got to sell out, pay taxes on it, whatever.
How often are you going to run into 5x's?
Yeah, that's
500%.
That's amazing.
That's unheard of.
That's a unicorn. That's like Dogecoin,
So like you invest into a skill where you can do that skill for the rest of your life, and you can earn money for the rest of your life instead of this temporary 5x that, I made 50 grand, but realistically, like, we're trying to build this agency to make 100 grand a month. That's not you can do that investing in crypto when you're playing with millions and millions of dollars, but you're not doing that with 10K to invest.
Yeah, so guys, if you're listening to this and you're trying to do crypto, you're trying to do e-commerce, you're trying to do an agency, you're trying to do real estate all at the same time, don't do that. You're going to dig yourself in a hole, you're going to waste your time. Focus on one thing and become the best at it. Right. Generate money from that. Scale that shit up. And then when you do have money, that's when you're going to start playing around, investing in certain things, right? But if you're stuck at like that 5, 10, 15K a month, like focus on scaling that. Focus on scaling that. Become the best. Invest that money back into yourself, into your knowledge, into coaches, into a skill. And that's probably the best advice I can give to you guys out there. And it's like, how much have we invested into ourselves the past 4 months?
I don't know. Do we include Apex?
Maybe, yeah. I would include all that.
Yeah, I mean, 5 figures for sure.
It's been 5, 75, that's 12. We spent over $20,000 in the past 5 months into ourselves. And I'll tell you what, it was worth every penny. The people we've been able to meet, the things we've been able to learn and implement into our business to help us scale the systems. Literally 2 months ago, our systems for our business were terrible.
Yeah, no, we didn't have. We were the systems.
Yeah,
there was no systems.
We were employees.
Yeah.
We were literally employees. We were doing the nitty gritty. It was terrible. We were overpaying our people so much until we talked to other people, and I realized that they were paying them half, and I'm like, what?
So our payroll was double that it needed to be. Yep. So we were able to hire a team for the same. We were able to hire double the people, more than double the people, quadruple the people for the same price we were paying for our old team.
And now we can handle more customers. So
it all came from a connection.
It all came from a connection that we paid, and that connection came from this coaching program that we paid. So it's just, it's a never-ending cycle. And I think just life is all about learning and educating yourself. A big thing is like when you go to college and you graduate, people think your learning is done after that. Like that's when learning really begins, in my opinion. That's when like your life really starts after that.
Because then it's on you.
Then it's on you.
When you're going to school, that's just assignments being handed to you, homework being handed to you, tests being handed to you. They're trying to teach you. Maybe you're not even listening. But anyways, when you get out of college, that's when it's all on you. That's when you have to make it happen for yourself. You have to go invest in the money. You have to listen to podcasts like this. You have to talk to like-minded people. You have to go to events like we're going to.
No one else is going to do it for you.
Yeah. But who's doing it? And the people that are doing it, those people are going to be successful. And those people are few. That's the 1% that are doing it.
Yep. And one thing I want you guys to know is, so we're in South Beach right now. And there's so much money out here. Like, you can see all these Instagram people just having the time of their lives. Like, don't worry about that shit. Half the time, they probably aren't even happy, truly. Don't worry about that shit. Focus on yourself and understand that, God has a plan for you. It's just, there's going to be a time and place for you to succeed. But right now, you just have to do the work, focus on the input, and the output will take care of itself. Meaning, if you're putting hours and hours and hours into yourself, educating, trying to move the needle, eventually the output is going to be what you put in. So if you're half-assing shit, that's going to be your output. Your life is going to be half-assed. But if you full-on focus on becoming the best version of yourself, business, friend, whatever, that's the outcome you're going to get, So
got to become an expert in all walks of life. And that comes with uncovering the secrets, which we're trying to help you here with.
Yeah, and we're still trying to uncover the secrets ourselves.
Yeah, we're learning.
And sometimes you have to pay for those secrets, and we understand that. And some people don't, and it's just.
It's crazy to me, bro. Like they'll go to the mall, and they'll buy $100 shirt or $100 jacket, or jeans and whatever. Like they're trying to keep up with their outfits, or they're buying these shoes, or they're going out to clubs. And they're
crazy,
totally
man.
Fine with that. Like, okay, go have fun. Go have fun for sure. Go buy what you like. If you want a new shirt, go do it. But it's like, then they come to that, they're where it comes to investing in themselves or buying a book. They're like, damn, $20. Oh, I have to get this course that would teach me how to make millions of dollars, possibilities to millions, but it cost me $1,000.
Yep.
Like, where's that mindset? Where's that perspective?
It's a stupid mindset. Instead of spending, people will spend $1,000 on Travis's, on some fragments, on some Black Phantoms, but they won't spend $1,000 on a course or a coaching program. But they will spend $20,000 in college. And it's just, when you can spend literally a percent, like 10% of that into a coaching program that will teach you how to actually make $10K a month, $20K a month, $30K a month. And one thing I want to say is it will catch up. But the people who are going out right now, that we see our age, going out right now, fucking around, excuse my slang, but just messing around and not doing anything, just not improving themselves, just coasting, it will catch up to them. Everything catches up, everything compounds. So if each day you're trying to become 1% better, you're going after it at the gym, whatever it is in life, it will compound, and growth is exponential, meaning growth isn't linear. It starts off very slow, but when the breakthrough comes, it's exponential. The same thing comes though when you're going out, you're spending all your money, and you're not educating yourself, the growth is exponential as well. When that decline comes, it's gonna come. So guys, I would much rather give things up a little bit right now. Like, I still enjoy myself, don't get me wrong. I just ain't going out every weekend. I still enjoy it. I mean, I'm in South Beach right now, hanging out with some friends from LA, with some clients, and we're having a good time. But at the same time, I know right after this, I gotta get after it, and I love it. I love it, So I'm sure you do too.
You gotta sit down and ask yourself, like, what do you enjoy, really? Like, do you enjoy going out every weekend, worth Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, benders all weekend? Maybe you do. Maybe you're enjoying that for this time in your life right now. But like for us with the entrepreneur type mind, or anybody out there with an entrepreneur
just
type
a growth mind.
A growth mind, right? Just wanting to grow in any area of their life. Someone that has a little bit of consistency and discipline. That's really the recipe right there, is just discipline. But what we enjoy is growing. Like, I enjoy putting in the work now to see what the outcome can be, instead of like coasting and letting just things happen to me. I'd rather be in control of what I am receiving, what I am putting in, the universe is giving back. So whatever I'm doing right now is gonna be what I receive as well. So if I'm putting in the work, I'm gonna get some fruits of my labor. And if I'm just kind of coasting, what happens when you coast?
Nothing. You decline. Eventually, it's gonna catch up to you. Like I said, once you coast, it's gonna come up. It's gonna catch up to you.
Yeah, you take the foot off the gas.
And that's fine. Listen, if you're a coaster, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just more for us.
Yeah.
More for the people who actually want to grow. I personally, I don't see a life of just coasting, being stagnant, being the same person from high school all the way till I'm 30. I'm trying to see growth. I'm trying to be an example to my family. I'm trying to be an example to my friends, to my girlfriend, to my future kids. I want to be an example that it is possible, right? So right now what we're doing with that is growing our agency, posting content, making podcasts like these. And
I mean, like, this is our second podcast ever, we didn't practice these things. We kind of just jump in front of the camera, speak in our mind. And that's the thing, like right now we're going to this fun launch event. We have no idea what fun launch is. Shouldn't we be scared? Yeah, I mean, we're about to go in a couple hours and try to talk some business, network with some people. And it's things that we're, not, everyone's going to be scared to do something for the first time. But it's like, if you're an entrepreneur, you have that growth mind, you're really weighing out that possibility of that outcome. You're like, damn, this can produce me more income, or this can make me bigger after going to the gym, or whatever. So let me just put in the work. Let me see what happens. And that's what we're doing. We're testing it. This is our second podcast ever. We're out here in South Beach. This is not a once in a lifetime thing. We're gonna plan to do this way more times.
Bro, I would love. So like, I used to hate Miami. I know you did too. I used to hate Miami just because like I always thought it was I don't know. Like, I'm not much of a club guy myself. Like, I'll go here and there, but I'm not much of a club guy myself. So I always thought Miami was going to Live, Story, 11, all this shit. But like where we at right now, it's such a vibe. It's relaxing. It's just the atmosphere is great. Like I would wake up every day, go to the beach for a walk, get some coffee, and go work. Like that sounds amazing. So where we're staying right now has really opened up my mind to South Beach and like Miami. Like I would stay here. I don't know if I will, but
You know, maybe for a couple years, you
I
know,
would stay here for a year, personally.
especially when we're young and we can afford the
Yep.
afford a little bit more of the stress of the traffic and stuff like that. You know,
yeah.
You know, when we're older, we can move out to Southwest Ranches or.
Southwest, yeah, we can move out west and have our own land. That's when we're older, have kids, right?
That's another thing though. South Beach is if you got some money, you can get into the places that are a little bit more secluded, and that's what kind of this Amex was allowed us
Yeah,
to do.
if you don't got money, don't go to South Beach. Stay where you are, get your bread up, and then come to South Beach.
Yeah, because if you're just kind of hanging with the crowd, that's when it gets a little.
That's when it just gets distracting, and then you don't want to be around people like that. Like you don't want to get distracted, and you want to be focused on your goal. But going back to our podcast, like this is our second podcast. Like right now, we have the most ratchet setup. We just have our light set up. We have our camera on like a box.
On the box of our light.
But I'm proud of that, because look, when we're on our 30th, 40th, 50th episode, and it's just totally different, we're gonna look back and say, like, we fucking did it. So one thing I always see people get wrong is they want to wait until everything is so perfect to get started. Oh, I'm gonna build out a full studio. I'm gonna build out everything, and then I'm gonna start my podcast. It's like, why not just start it with what you have now? Because chances are there's going to be like a handful of people watching the first 10 episodes of your podcast, like maybe 20, 30 people. So who cares? So when we do build out that studio that we really want, dude, we're going to be killing it in front of the camera. We're getting out all the rust and just the beginner podcast stuff. We're going to be getting out in the first 10 episodes, like when we don't have a studio and stuff.
What's the majority of a video? It's the message inside the video. It doesn't matter about your setup. I mean, yeah, of course, video quality is definitely a part of virality or just people appealing to your video.
To a point, yeah.
But it's like the general message and something that could be. This is the thing. If you are making content just to make content, then that's fine. But if you're making content for a purpose, like our purpose is to grow our business and help people grow their business, then you know, I don't know where I was going with this actually.
Boy, I had a brain fart.
Yeah.
I saw
at the camera.
I saw it in his eyes. I just saw him go blank. So like the setup and how your actual videos look does matter to, you know, at an extent. Like when you get to a certain point, it does matter. Like when you want to connect with these big guys like Hormozy, Logan Paul, and all that stuff, like your video quality matters. But when you're just starting out, that shit don't matter. You don't need to have an audience. Just shoot on your camera, on your iPhone. It doesn't matter. Get stuff out, and then invest into a camera. When you do have a camera and a better setup, you've already practiced on your iPhone and stuff, so you're way better.
You know?
Let's talk about perfecting products.
Perfecting products. I don't know.
What's the problem with that?
This is such like a. I hear two things to this, but I just read this book like 2 months ago, and it was The Lean Startup. Great book, by the way. But they talk about when you're launching a product, it's called, you want to launch an MVP, a minimal viable product. Okay, and I'm going to try to break it down the best, but when you're launching a product, let's just say for any business, what most startups will do is focus on the features, spend so much time and money on features that they think that their audience is going to want. So when they spend all this time and money and they actually launch the product, they realize that their audience doesn't want it. They realize that 10 people only bought it, or it's just not working. So they spend all that time and money trying to perfect a product that they think their audience is gonna want, but they don't actually want it. So what this book is saying, you want to launch an MVP, which means it's kind of like a beta version. Like you've put some time and effort, right? But you pretty much launch it to them, and you get feedback, live feedback from your audience, and you build your product off of that.
Right.
You know, but you know, where people are like, oh, I don't want to do that because I don't want to give my audience a bad product. Well, it's not that you're giving them a bad product. You know, you're usually going to do this for free. And that's the problem. Many people don't want to do this for free or for a very low cost to get feedback. But the investment is well worth it because, like I said, what if you spent double the amount of time and money trying to perfect a product, and then when you go launch it, nobody wants it? Instead, you take 2 to 3 months to build a product. You launch it for free or for very cheap. You get some feedback, and then you build off that, and then you launch it based off what your audience actually wants, and people will buy it. You know, like, what do you think?
I mean, I think a lot of people underestimate the power of reviews and testimonials.
Yep.
And also what these beta testers are going to be doing for their product is they're going to be providing them with what the community wants, not with what the entrepreneur that is dropping or the coach that's dropping the product wants in their product. Is what does the community want, because that's who is buying the product. So I think going on to why people underestimate reviews and testimonials, I mean, that first off, they can be run as ads to push people to your product.
It's social proof.
Social proof.
Powerful.
So powerful.
Yeah.
That's when your clients become your salespeople. You know, your clients become a 24/7 salesperson, because you can have these testimonials on your landing pages or on your websites, wherever or you can run them as ads. Like I said earlier, people are seeing that this product is working and this product is dope. You know, they're going to be more attracted to it rather than a talking head of maybe the CEO of the product or someone that's trying to push it. It's just more social proof for people to actually buy into you and trust, because these people are seeing people in the community success, you know?
Yep. And we're currently doing that right now. We just launched a course on how to make social media a cash cow, pretty much how to make a living on social media and how to actually shoot your content. This course is it's so valuable. Pretty much everything we've paid for took us hours to make. Like everything we've learned in the past 2 years, we put it in this course, and it's a completely free course. And the reason it's free is because I want to get as much feedback as I can from it so we can build off of it for like what people actually need and want. But in return for it being free, I just ask the people who have joined it, who have access to it, just shoot me a review and a testimonial. Because what I'm going to do with that is when I actually start charging for it, we're going to start running ads on all these reviews. We have case studies. We have social proof that is actually worth the investment. So,
I mean, as an agency, like case studies, how important are case studies, man? Like, for someone to see tangible results someone that's trying to grow their socials, and you're the agency, if they don't see any tangible results that you provided for someone else, some other clients, it's going to be very hard to sell them on your packages. But if you have,
also for like those expensive packages,
especially the high ticket stuff, yeah. But if you have we gained 100,000 followers for client A, their revenue jumped 35%. This took 3 months, and then here is his whole experience on working with us and what he likes about us. Like that right there is I see the success this guy has, I can get that too. But if you're just saying it, I can gain you 100,000, or I can boost your revenue by 35%. It's going to go in the ear, out the other ear. They can't take that. So if they see an actual case study with a client that you actually performed your services on that did very well and it was successful, it's like they can actually pull that trigger because they're way more trustworthy because they see the actual success.
Yep. And that's one thing that all these new agencies think that they're going to come up, be able to make 10K in the first month when they don't have anything to back it up. You can't expect to charge 3 to 4K if you don't have any results. You can get lucky, you can for sure get lucky, but that client ain't gonna stay with you.
Yeah, retention.
Especially if you don't get them results. So, like I said, guys, if you're just getting into the game, it's totally fine to give your stuff out for free in return for a testimonial review, a case study, then you can then use that on your next sales call or promote to be able to charge that high ticket price.
Right.
So it's a big problem because people want money right now. People love that instant gratification. They want money, but they don't realize that it's just not how shit works, man.
Yeah, we worked for probably a year and a half, almost
For
2
free.
years for free.
Labor
free.
work. We weren't even doing other. We were going to real estate houses. We were going to houses, taking real estate pictures, videos,
Mm-hmm.
all that shit.
Yep.
Even portraits for girls. We were asking girls, can we take pictures of you? Like using our own time and dime to take
Yep.
pictures. And I wouldn't change that at all because I got our foot in the door to all this, you know.
Yep.
Everything happens for a reason. You know. Which is crazy. What do you think for like, let's just say for like a videographer out there. You know, like if let's just say you're a videographer, you don't like weddings, you don't like shooting real estate, commercials, like what do you do? How can you pivot?
Go to events. Go to events. I mean, literally, like, I'm not just saying this fund launch event, but like different type of videography events or social media events or fund launch event, like whatever it is. You just growing your knowledge and opportunities. Like we did not know that setting up a fund and buying agencies that are doing the same thing that we are doing that need our systems, it wasn't even an option, you know. So if you're stuck doing weddings and you're like, shit, I hate this, my bad for the slang, you're like you're saying you don't like weddings, you don't like doing bar mitzvahs, sweet 16s, you're taking pictures of houses, blah, 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 you don't want to do it. Think about expanding your knowledge on your niche. So your niche is videography. What else could you do with the camera?
Yeah.
What else could you do? And how else? And then you want to break it down even further. If you want to talk about income, it's like, what CLV in the niche is the highest? Client lifetime value, right? What niche? So for real estate, if we're doing real estate investors, if we're able to bring them a deal from our content that we're pushing for them, that's a $10,000 ticket for them, maybe more, sometimes a lot more.
Yeah.
So our services are way more needed in real estate, or we can charge a higher ticket for our services in real estate rather than a restaurant, you know, where each person that comes in is a $50 dinner. You know, if we bring them one person, their value is $50. If we bring one person to a real estate investor, their value is 10,000 plus. So it's like, break down all the niches that you're interested in, look what value is the best, and then look at the workflow that you would have to be doing, because there's examples all over the web where we run the agencies for coaches and stuff like that. So it's another niche. Just try to find other niches, expand your mind, expand your knowledge, and learn about it. And if it's something that you want to keep doing, continue. You don't need to be at something for a year to tell if you like it or not.
Yep. And what's so important about what he's talking about is breaking down each niche and seeing where you can make the most money. Even though it's not always about money, but here's a harsh truth. You can have the exact same skill, but you can either be broke or be wealthy. So now let me explain. So let's just say you're a videographer. You can have the same skill and choose to shoot videos for like boutique restaurants or coffee shops, or use the same skills to shoot commercials for businesses. You can be making 10, 20K a month here, only 5K a month here, but you're doing the exact same work and you have the exact same skill set. So this can be with any industry too. You know, I was talking to our friend Carlo, and he's going through something right now that every business owner goes through, right? But I was asking him, it's like, could you pivot in a way where you can use your exact same skill set and energy, but be able to make more money? And obviously, it's so where he's at right now, it's too early to tell. Because let me tell you something, like if you've been doing something for a month or two and it isn't working, that's not enough time to tell whether or not you need to pivot or not. You need to give it like at least half a year or like a year. After a year, if you haven't seen any progress or anything, maybe it's definitely time. Okay, like I need to pivot. This shit ain't working no more. But you can have the exact same skill, but be able to make literally double the amount of money, you know? So for example, if you know how to build a business up from point A to point B, you can do that with restaurants or you can do that with startups. Which one are you gonna make more money? Probably startups, but it's the exact same knowledge. So really picking your industry can literally make or break you.
Right.
So really focus on that, really sit down and break down. It's like, okay, which industry or niche am I going to go into?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it goes the same with influencers. If you're an agency that's focusing on building people's social medias, same thing. The businesses that you're actually doing the work for, is the same rules apply. If it's a restaurant you're building social media for, same rules apply, lower ticket. If it's a boutique clothing store, same rules apply, low ticket. But if you're doing someone like a real estate investor, or you're doing a plastic surgeon, some of these niche, expensive,
I just have more money.
They have more money to spend, and also is your tangible result of bringing them a lead is allowing them to generate more income. So you can charge
because their
price.
customer lifetime value is more.
Right.
You know, so like for real estate, for example, for online coaches, their high ticket stuff ranges from $2,000 to $10,000. So if I bring them a lead and they close them for $5,000 and I'm charging them $3,000, boom, it's already worth my money. Mm-hmm. But if you're bringing them 2, 3, 4 leads a month, it's going to be worth the investment.
Yeah, let's do that math. If you're charging them $3,000, I keep using restaurant. I'm sorry for anyone that loves shooting restaurants. If you're bringing them $3,000, and you let's say you bring 20 people in there. That's a decent traffic from pushing them. You know, you charge them $3,000 a month. 20 people you bring into the restaurant from their social media videos. What is that? 20 times 50, $1,000.
Yeah.
You know, you got them $1,000, and you're charging them $3,000. They're still in the whole $2,000. What happens when they get their CPA to look at their spreadsheet? They're gonna fire your ass.
Yeah, what happened when like the restaurant's like, okay, my overhead's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
They talk with their CPA, which most restaurants, or at least smart restaurants, I would say, have a CPA that goes over their books. Oh, you're spending $3,000 on this. It's probably like not the best investment. Let's cut them. Okay. But if you're with the online coach and you look at their CPA, the CPA, you're spending $3,000. Oh yeah, but they brought us $20,000. Let's keep them. They're worth the investment. So again, it can be this very similar skill, but you're making double, and like your life is just so much better. You're not stressing over a restaurant. And these owners, you're dealing with online coaches who are abundant entrepreneurs just like yourself, you know? So literally and the thing is, you can decide that. You literally have the choice of whether or not you want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Of who you want to work with. Yeah. Choose your clientele. That's the most important step for any entrepreneur, is choose your clientele, because that literally will make or break you. Like you said earlier, it's gonna change your income. It's gonna change your stress levels. If I'm working weddings where I have to make sure every shot is perfect, or you know, the mic has to be on. You know, what level is the mic on? I have to be everywhere at once. You know, I only got one shot to take these videos. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. You know, that's high level stress. I don't want to be in that. But when we're shooting content for these coaches, or we're talking and strategizing for these coaches on how we can make them more money, they're right along with us. You know, helping our business and giving us value, expanding our opportunities to more opportunities.
No bride is gonna help me with business.
No.
maybe one. You know, if anything, they'll give me more stress. But yeah, guys, that is it for this episode. We will see you in episode 3. Thank you so much if you watched us all the way through. Again, we're in South Beach. We're actually about to go hit the fun launch and make some content as well. So, guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Yes, sir. It's been
Thank
good,
you.
guys.